more importantly, let's go back into our standard analysis. Let's break down this. All right. So I saw somebody post this on the social medias, and I felt like this is a very valid topic that we should talk about. And they posted, Belichick is greater than Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Because this week, we had Belichick and Brady both starting basically whole new chapters, even though one went to a whole new place and the other one had the same place with a new quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots won their game 21 to, what was that, 11?
Yes.
While the Buccaneers and Tom Brady lost to the Saints 34 to 23. So let's start first with the Patriots. Jimmy, what did you think about seeing Cam Newton in a Patriots jersey?
It was strange to see. I think it works. I think that they're definitely going to be more of a run team. And with the receiving core around Julian Edelman, that's so unproven and didn't really produce very much last season, I think you kind of have to be. So, I think that they're going to be more of a power running team, but I think it works because Cam has run that style before. Bill Belichick has shown that he can be adaptable, but the important thing is not the 21 they scored, it's the 11 that they held the Dolphins to, given all the talent that they lost last season, or in the offseason, as far as Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins again, and so forth. So to still hold them to 11 when this Miami Dolphins team was picked by multiple people, me included, to be ascending because of the pieces that they have now, to hold them to 11 points, I think that was the bigger factor as opposed to what Cam did, because he didn't throw for a lot of yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 75 rushing yards, something like that. But that Patriots defense, again, still being masterminded by Bill Belichick, is what's going to give teams the most trouble this season, and not so much Cam Newton. So that's what really stuck out to me the most.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
What jumped out to me the most is that that Josh McDaniels is going to use all his resources. Cam Newton with 15 rushes in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You have Sonny Michel still thoroughly involved in the offense. He had 10 carries. And then Cam threw the ball only 19 times. Mm-hmm. That to me makes me feel like their goal was to ease Cam in with that shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let him take his time. Let him get out there and get comfortable, get acclimated with the offense. Even though this is probably the first player that I've ever heard Belichick borderline swoon over outside of Ed Reed. Like, he loves Ed Reed. He knows this.
He does.
He loves his dirty draws. But he has really praised Cam Newton as a player, and I'm trying to figure out why. Like, why are you doing this?
Do you think that's a way to sort of passive aggressively troll Tom Brady by bestowing all this love on him that you never bestowed upon your ex? I think maybe that's it.
That's a valid one, but I don't see. Well, Belichick has a pettiness to him, but at the same time, he also has no emotions in general. So I find it a struggle to think that he would do that as a passive aggressive play.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's trying to let Kraft know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Well, maybe part of it too is just the nature of the relationship between the two, because I think the relationship between he and Brady, it was great football wise, but as far as person to person,
they didn't have one.
Right. Whereas him and Cam, it just finds a way to bring out certain parts of him that nobody else really has before, because it's in there.
But Belichick has a good relationship with his player. Like his player.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he has that. I'm not saying that.
It's just Tom Brady didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Tom Brady always did like a leap over him to management. He always went above his head.
So you think it was the power dynamics?
I think it was the power dynamics.
I think it was the personality dynamics, or maybe both.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you have to dive right here into the Buccaneers and the Saints. So Jimmy,
you sure you don't want to go first on this? Given that it was your team, both our teams took L's, but this is your team's L. So you sure you don't want to go over this first?
Sure, I'll go over it first, and I'll say this. I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna be fair. And I'm going to just say something that I'm not the only person that has this opinion either.
Okay.
Be prepared. They both look old. Drew Brees looked old. Tom Brady looked old. We're like two old guys out here leading these teams, and it just didn't come up to fruition like we hoped it did. The problem I see with Tampa Bay is defensively. We weren't disciplined enough defensively. Like, I saw a whole bunch of stupid penalties that we kept getting throughout the game. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we getting these penalties? I mean, Sue went offside, I think, a couple times where I had encroachments, and it just, yeah, we had 9 penalties for 103 yards.
103 yards.
103.
Backwards.
The Saints had 6 penalties for 119 yards.
What are these, like just personal fouls all over the place?
It was everything, man. Interferences, offsides, personal. It was a sloppy play game. It just was. And then we, of course, had 3 turnovers. Tom Brady underthrowing his receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees almost underthrew his. Hell, Jared Cook's touchdown, he didn't know that ball was coming. He thought that was going to be picked and gone.
Right.
Should have been.
Right.
But it wasn't. He got luck. He lucked out. So
overall,
it just looked like a bunch of old guys.
Okay, so you say Father Time is who dominated this game.
Oh, yeah. Father Time won this one big time.
Now, which team can more easily overcome their quarterback showing their age? The Saints or the Bucs?
I'm going to have to say the Saints because they do a lot of dumps. Arians is going to have to add more dump plays into this, similar to what they do in New England, to like an Edelman across the middle. Because, yes, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, who played, can burn and they can catch everywhere. You got to go to your tight ends. O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate. Throw it to them and then dump it to not only Ronald Jones, who Rojo looked good, and Leonard Fournette.
Well, I mean, you even don't have to. You can do that with your running backs, or you can just put Leonard Fournette in there and let him be who he's always been and pound it more. Sort of trend. And I guess we hear ourselves saying this multiple times this show, going more run oriented. So I think you kind of in this situation you probably have to.
Yeah, you have to. But that's the thing. He has a lineup of running back. I mean, he has a stable.
That's why you got him, yeah.
They got running back by committee that Arians can go with. And I just recently saw Arians' responses. He said that we were prepared as we should have been prepared, and I don't know why we didn't do it. So it looks like there's going to be a rift with the coach and his quarterback already. Like, I bet you Brady is wishing that he had Belichick at this point because Belichick wouldn't have said anything.
But at the same time, next week we're probably going to be saying something different because they have Carolina next, who just gave up 34 to the Raiders. So, I mean, to the untrained eye, it might look like, okay, they fixed all the mistakes from last week, this week by beating Carolina, and they should, handedly. But, I mean, I think someone like you who knows this team very well, you'll still be able to see, okay, whether or not if it is more so his age or if it's just first game, new system, yeah, he's 43, but now they were able to correct some things that they got wrong in the first game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them correcting things. They should. There's no excuse not to.
Right. I mean, what else are you going to do all week?
Right. What are we paying you for?
Right. It's your job.
It's your job. Get this done. Now, I think they'll be fine. I think both teams are going to have like I said the Saints as well as the Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs. I just feel like their teams are just the best. The Falcons showed us the same that they always showed us. They should not have lost that game the way they did, but they, of course, found a way. And Carolina's not there yet. Carolina needs another year. Yeah. And they need some more weapons at the receiving core right now. Because Run CMC can't do everything. And it's easy at a certain point to let Run CMC get his 130 yards and then just blow the brakes off the team. So
right.
We'll see how that goes.
Okay.